it's Marie-France from Healthy Cooking for Food Lovers. Today we're making cabbage rolls. We have a beautiful cabbage here. This is the choux. We call it in French cigare or choux. It's the same thing. I know there's many different ways of making cigare au choux or the cabbage rolls. So what I'm following today is an Italian recipe, so it should be very delicious. Okay, we start with our sauce first, and this is gonna simmer for about 20 minutes while we're preparing the rest of our recipe. So we're gonna start by adding about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, beautiful olive oil, to a pot here. And here I have 3 onions here. We're gonna use half of that in our sauce and the other half in stuffing for our cabbage. So I'm just gonna add about half here for our sauce, and we're gonna also add some garlic. But what we want to do is just to cook those onions a little bit before we add the garlic. All recipes start with onion and garlic. 2 to 3 minutes for the onion, and then we'll add the garlic. Garlic, we don't want it to cook. We just want to add it and keep the nice flavor. Now we have some garlic. I have 3 cloves of garlic here, and I'll do the same as I did for the onion. Just use about half of it here. Okay, now we have our beautiful tomato that we canned earlier. And so we're gonna use 1 jar of tomato, the whole tomato. And we're gonna use also 1 jar of tomato sauce. Now all we need to add is some basil. I have about 1 teaspoon of dried basil here. We're gonna add now some stevia, because we know, like with the tomato, we always like to add a little bit of sugar, and I always choose to add stevia because this is a natural sweetener. So this is the stevia plant here, but I'm gonna use, of course, this prepared one to add to the tomato today. So it's about 1 tablespoon of stevia, and salt, pepper, and let that simmer for about 20 minutes to use with our cabbage roll. So the sauce is going, and we'll leave it as that for now. And now let's go and prepare our cabbage leaves. So we cover this for just about 20 minutes, and then we'll get back to it. Now, Mr. Cabbage, so let's prepare this. Now, the easiest way to get our leaves off is to put the cabbage in the boiling water. So I have a big pot of water here that's just about to boil. And then what we do is we're just gonna cut the core. I have this good knife here that should be pretty easy to do. Just be careful when you do that. Et voila, it's coming out. I'm just gonna send it in like this. Careful, because it's hot. And cover it for about 5 minutes, and we'll be able to take all the leaves off easily. Okay, our stuffing for our cabbage now. I'm using half beef and half pork, but really you can choose whichever way you do. Just the beef, it works. With lamb, it's delicious as well. So here we have half. We have about 1.5 kilo of meat here. I'll send that in, and I've mixed it together already. We're gonna add the rest of our onion here in. we're gonna add the garlic. About 1/4 cup of parsley, fresh. We're adding 1 egg in. Salt, pepper. And I'm just gonna start beating that egg a little bit so it mixes easily with everything later. Just mix that up like this. Okay, now the next thing that we're gonna add, the Italian way, we're gonna add some cheese. We have some beautiful mozzarella here, and we're so fortunate to have a cheese factory that makes nice organic cheese. And so we're very spoiled here with the cheese. So this one is mozzarella. We're just gonna put a little bit. Maybe I added about 1 cup here. And then we have some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. A good portion of that. It's delicious. And of course we add some rice. Now, I pre-cooked this rice because I prefer to use brown rice, and so I cooked it for about 8 minutes first, so it's pre-cooked, and so it's gonna bind all this mixture together. 1.5 cup of rice. I measure like this. Let's just mix everything now. So I'm trying to mix this, but really the hands is better for that. So let's go with the hands and mix all this. There's no better way. Just let's mix everything like this. Okay, let's go and check on our cabbage. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the leaves off, and it comes off pretty easy, as you can see, all like this. But of course the middle of our cabbage will be still not cooked, so depending if we need to, we can send it back into the boiling water for another couple of minutes to get the other leaves out if they're not coming off easy. But right now it's going pretty good. Okay, ready to roll our cabbage. I've got a little bit left here, which we can do some soup. We can do many things with this. So we put a little bit of the sauce in our tray here for the cabbage, just a little bit at the bottom, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of Parmesan here. And we start rolling. We have big cabbage leaves, we have a big cabbage, so we're gonna just try to take just a little bit of the hard part of it. Just if you cut it from the outside, just like that, just like this. So we place the cabbage leaf like this, and we're gonna use a generous portion of our mixture because we have big leaves, so we're gonna have big cabbage roll. So I place some meat like this here, and just start rolling like this, and then fold, and then finish it off like this. Make it tight, and then we place it here in our tray. We start here, and we're just gonna continue and fill up that tray with our cabbage roll. We managed to have 12 big cabbage roll, and now we're gonna just top it up with the rest of the tomato sauce, and it's gonna go in the oven for about 1 hour, 1:15, something like that. So let's just add our sauce here. And again, a little bit of Parmesan on top. So we cover it with the foil, and we're gonna send it in the oven at 350, 180 Celsius for about 1 hour. But coming to that, maybe 15 minutes before the end, I'll go and take off the foil and let it simmer just another further 15 minutes. So let's go into the oven. Let's have a look inside. Oh, that looks perfect. Let's see inside. Yes, 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 yes. It's perfect. Have a look. Ooh. Now we're gonna finish with just a tiny little bit of olive oil on top. Always nice. Some Parmesan cheese. Just a little bit. And some fresh parsley just to finish off. Et voila! Les cigares au choux, your cabbage roll. Bon appétit!